make-believe. Kids screaming in the cradles, profanities. I see the world through eyes covered in ink and bleach. Cross out the ones who heard my cries and watched me weep. I love everything. Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush. Take my eyes open to force reality. Why can't you just let me eat my weight in glee? I live inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in their cradles, profanities. Some days I feel skinnier than all the other days. Sometimes I can't tell if my body belongs to me. I love everything. Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush. Content, hold your breath and feel the tension. Devils hide behind redemption. Honesty is a one-way gate to hell. I wanna taste consumption. Breathe faster to waste oxygen. Hear the children sing aloud. It's music till the wick burns out. Hush. Be carefree lately, yeah. Just picking up daisies. Got one too many quarters in my pockets. Count 'em like the four-leaf clovers in my locket. Untied laces, yeah. Just tripping on daydreams. Got dirty little lullabies playing on repeat. Might as well just ride around the nursery and count sheep.
Till I get up, time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah.
to protect your soul.
I don't know what you want. Let's have a bit of fun till I downfall. My love, if you feel like I do right now, don't say you're on the run to the other side. My love. Just like the street lights lit this town, like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down. Can't be afraid to leave this out. We got this far, don't know how. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we're gonna let it rain. Tonight we're gonna let it rain. a superhero.
Okay, there we go. Hey, Nepal, how you doing? Let's see. I should probably describe some of the stuff that I've been doing. All right, so we're making a loot system, but we're making it so that way you can edit it from through a scriptable object. But for my specific purposes, this is going to be something that we bring to the server. So this is going to exist as a client object. All we do at build time is make these out. The developer or designer, whoever wants to mess with this, could be future me, can just come here and quickly generate a new loot table. Copy. We have a little button that we press on the editor that will make this or serialize this into a format that works with the server, and then I'll just bring it to the server. And boom, we now have a new functionality. That's the idea. So we're just going to get this part done today. I'm not too gung-ho about bringing it to the server quite yet. Yeah. Okay, we're good. How the heck did I do the other reward stuff? Like, I feel like I'm doing extra for no reason. Give me a sec. This isn't the first time I've written a reward, right? BP claimable. Alright, how does this work? I don't know what type of voodoo I did to get that to work. Oh, that's what I didn't even... okay, it's right here. Okay, so I handled it all inside of this. That's what it was. This is from before I had the system that I have now. So it looks like I just basically... Yeah, I think it's fine. The system that I have now is technically a little bit more boilerplate, but it's better. But, I mean, they're both good. It's just... This way is more modular, so I can just drop it into any new system down the road. This way is more... It's stuck here. You can't really do much with it. Right, which is just the natural process of things. As you keep on doing things, you realize certain things are just going to be happening more often. So you approach it differently. This is just the way to do it now. Okay, we're good. New loot reward, prototype loot reward. Okay. Oh, we got exceptions. What do we have? Ah. Save. Prototype. So we're looking for loot. There it is. Okay. What the heck? This thing is... Sure, we'll play that game. Let's do that. Where are you? There we go. Okay. So we selected a Treta. It did not give us any issues here, but it also didn't auto... Oh. Wait. No, it should be working. Let's just double check. Oh, it's not going to work because... Where are we? Search champion. We're calling update matches, right. Gotcha. So we should be over here. Did we change the loot type? Flag should be... There it is. I think we just need to do this. It didn't pick up that this was champion. Or maybe it did. Try that again. If we set as champion, champions now shows. So if we change this from a Treta to no matches and set it to like 3, right? This should be changed to 0. There we go. We have no matches.
All the barricades, I wanna know why they hold me back. Need a miracle to break me through, but I won't get that. If I was a real wonder, then I could save me from turning around. Lift me off the ground, and one day I'm free. Yeah, I wanna be a real wonder. Heaven lift me up from under. Wishing I could be somehow stronger now, so I can fight away all the pain inside me. Never be afraid of the fate that finds me. Wishing I could be stronger.
Nice. I think this is a good little system. This is just the beginning of it, but I think this is a good little system.
If you wanna be a wonder, baby, come and show it. Tell me what you feel in your heart and your soul. There's nothing I would take for granted. With me, we'll make it through. Takes two hearts to fix heartbreak.
All right, and then let's just... We need to edit the item version now. What happens if we do this? None, and then we do update. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, we're just gonna do the same thing. Okay, we just need to do this a little bit differently, but it's pretty much the same thing. All right, we can just kind of do the same thing. Just a small difference here. Reason why I couldn't just directly copy paste it. When you do stuff like this, I found, at least for me, it's very easy to make more mistakes than I would have if I had just typed it out. I don't believe these are in data asset. They take their own item.
Suck me up small, breathe me in and let me go. Filling the lungs inside you. And the blackened eyes make my way into your mind.
I think this is okay. Got it.
Just to know what you knew. Restless every time we start locking eyes.
Yeah. Okay.
Lost control. It's paradise with honesty, but
What was it called? Item.
suck me in smoke, breathe me in and let me go. Sink to your heart to find you. Open up your eyes till you're blinded by the lies, so you can see what you do. Restless every time we start locking eyes. Lost
Okay, that should do it.
it's paradise with honesty, but in the dead of the night.
Okay.
Teardrops on a
So now we should be able to find any item in the game, as well as get its address and the target name of it, if we like. Go back to Unity. So let's first select item. And let's do search for an item. Yes, start with letter. Nothing. Ah, found something. Aegis of Kings.
Got a monster inside of me. You better watch out if your enemy's a road ahead of full prophecy to be the greatest beast the world has ever seen. I feed him every day like the bones clean. I feed him all the hate and he grows me. And he gets caught real big, pissed off quick. And if you cross him, you might drop dead. Metaphorically, of course.
Oh.
The relentless horde, never getting bored. Loves the blood and gore. Always wanting more freedom from the source. They don't really understand until they feel the force departed. If you start shit, you'll be heartless in the darkness.
Yeah,
Torn
weird.
apart quick, you left scars ripped to be chewed up and discarded. And this world ain't right, won't accept it. Negative energy, I expect.
It's a little confusing.
Once it's in your mind, it's infectious. So fight
What did I forget?
for life and reject it. You better give me space, I'm protective. My adrenaline spikes when I'm threatened. And if you stay in my way, I'm aggressive. Cause when there's no exit, I'll kill when I'm desperate. He's back and better than ever. I can feel my heart rate, adrenaline pressure. It's stormy weather, lightning, thunder, pouring weather. Yo, I'm a go-getter, try to do it like me, me, but I do it better. I got a mind that's clever, the beast inside is competitive as ever. I'm conscious, my subconscious, an accomplice to me. I promise the darkness, I can honest believe. But don't cross me, I might lose control of the lost beast. He's locked away inside with the key controlled by fight or flight. And this world ain't right, won't accept it. Negative energy, I expect it. Once it's in your mind, it's infectious. So fight for your life and reject it. You better give me space, I'm protective. My adrenaline spikes when I'm threatened. And if you stay in my way, I'm aggressive. Cause when there's no exit, I'll kill when I'm desperate.
So it's saying that the actual address for this is 0. What? Oh no, I have it in the wrong area. Be down here. Did we forget to have a complete match?
Say I'm good-hearted, but I'm just getting started. Got my eyes on the target.
Oh, I see. This never becomes... Gotcha. Why did we use old target here? What did we use over here? Complete match. Gotcha. We forgot that line.
Best to give me your loyalty, 'cause I'm taking the world, you'll see. They'll be calling me. They'll be calling me royalty. Best to give me your loyalty, 'cause I'm taking the world, you'll see. They'll be calling me. They'll be calling me royalty.
Nice. Okay.
They say I'm dangerous 'cause I broke all their cages. No, I won't sit and take
I don't like it though. Like, I don't like how this, you have to double tap it to get it to work.
that I guess I'll never learn. Every time I break, there's just more pain to burn. They'll never, never learn.
There we go. That's correct.
Till the battles won, till kingdom come.
What's this crying about?
Best to give me your loyalty, 'cause I'm taking the world, you'll see. They'll be calling me. They'll be calling me royalty. Best to give me your loyalty, 'cause I'm
So it's crying about the first call?
they'll be calling me royalty.
Alright. right, that looks good. So we need to get this address because we will push that to the server at some point. I feel like this shouldn't happen. That's the issue that we need to figure out. There's something that we have going on with the logic there. It knows that this is supposed to be the number, but then by the time we get to this part, it doesn't actually push that number out. So we need to find out why. Like if I press it again, it should load the number, right? Yeah, see?
Eyes in the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you?
Alright, if we know that it's setting it here, we'll just bypass that whole part and just do this. Alright, now let's try it. That should get this to work like the other side works. That is very annoying. It should just produce it. I don't know why it's not. If the complete match is false, that means that we've made changes, which then makes the address that we have no longer valid. We've made some changes. The idea. So we don't need this. Might be overprotective. No, we do need it. Because then we'll try to get stuff that doesn't exist. No, I think we're good. Once we get past this, I think we wanted to do that. Right, if we're calling this, we wanted to do this. And then if we keep making changes here, this will just keep getting set to dirty. That's the idea. Yeah, let's try it this way. Loosen it up a little bit. See what happens. What we're trying to get done is once I complete this, it should automatically see like how it keeps losing it here. That's not a good thing. Oh, I think I know why it's losing it. might be what it is. All right, let's try it now. Oops. There we go. Beautiful. There. Once we find it, that's it. That makes it annoying because we're constantly checking it. Every single time we enter a character here, it's checking through to see if there's an address that matches it. We don't want to do that because we already know that this is a complete match. So why are we doing that beforehand? Which is why I had the complete match there. But for some reason, it's... What happens if I update? If I update enough, it goes away. Not good. That means that there's no consistency on the validation. Information here is still the same. Let's expose that information a little bit and see what's going on there. There it is. Okay. Right. So now if I click update, this goes away. Why? It means that this is probably what's happening. Get rid of that. Even though, yeah, that makes sense. There we go. So now if I do this, it never goes away. Awesome. Very nice. Very nice. And this is not getting called at all, which is awesome. Now if I just change it very quickly to start with Arcanic Footwear. Just right away. Awesome. Since we simplified it, let's just add this back in and see if we can get that to be friendly. We're not seeing any resetting going on, which is really nice. So if I do this, we don't lose the stored. Okay. That's not good. This should be reset to 0 if we don't have a match. See if that fixes it. Now that should set this to 0. Okay. So now if we go... yeah, my day is ruined. Hey, Nicked. Yeah. No, I'm making a loot crate stuff, but I'm like being pedantic about this. How are you doing, man? We just talked on Friday, I think, so you should be still okay. Hopefully. I really hate the idea that all right, Unk. Unk has jokes. Let's see. I didn't know there was an art competition going on. You're hitting all of the you're hitting all of the points, man. You're trying to next you're going to be doing audio. Just remember, you don't have to be a one-man wrecking crew. You could definitely offload some of that. But that's really cool. That's awesome. Let's see. I think we can get away doing that instead then. Okay, let's get back to this. Alright, it looks like it just picked things up on its own. That's what I like to see. Alright, let's see. Fantastic. And if I go like that... Okay, fantastic. Okay, this is the happy little place that I needed it to be. Meanwhile, over here, we can just do this. I'm not, hold on one sec. Making my submission, yeah. I'm not doing it for game dev, yep. The keyboard on my main is messed up, and I don't feel like opening it up. Oh, I see. Beautiful. This is exactly fantastic. Okay. And then it just produces this exactly what I needed from it. Okay. So we now have the algorithm that we need to set this up. Let's go back to Champion and finish up Champion to make sure everything is working fine there. So we can get rid of this now.
Staying up when I go out, you gotta know I'm all yours. But when I say what's that about, you start slurring your words. Tell me why you have to seem so distant when I'm home.
See, there we go. And then we do that. And I think we just need to do down here. I think that's it for this part. We do need to make sure that we allow this to run. Right, like that. I think we do not complete here, right? Oh, we don't even have it. Never mind. Just get rid of it. I think we do that over here instead now. Right? And we don't need address dirty anymore, actually. Let's get rid of that. Because we can now do this when the stored address is equal. Same thing. Since we reset the stored address to 0 anytime we have a mismatch. So we can just double check our mismatches to make sure that we're actually mismatched. That's what we're doing right here. Which is probably the same thing we want to do here. Simplify the code as much as possible. I mean, technically is dirty is pretty simple, but less fields. Okay. That should do the trick. Let's make sure we didn't break anything. Address is... Ah, okay. Okay, we're good. Let's make sure our system is working over here. So we could also get rid of this now that I think about it. Gotta say, making art takes about a similar amount of effort as game dev. All the annoyingness of doing one thing just to figure out it was useless 3 hours later, the same amount of pre-planning the approach. Yeah. Recall the conversations we had before where there are 4 branches to game dev, just overall. But people, for some reason, like to merge them all together, like as if it's one thing. That's why they say solo dev is basically impossible mode. The trick to it is really being able to have scope down pat. If you can manage scope, then as long as you're putting in effort, you're gonna see results. But yeah, there's four major pillars to game development, right? You have art, obviously, programming, obviously, uh, music or composition, obviously, and you cannot. And this is the part people keep overlooking. Game dev. You have to have a designer. Those are the 4 major pillars. Nice. Okay. This came out super nice. Look at that. It will just update it on its own automatically. I'm satisfied. We don't even need this update button anymore. Let's get rid of it. Okay. So we now have our loot. So we can pick or select any item. So let's say the item is going to be rubies. That's the currency, and we can say it's 100 rubies or whatever, right? And this will be one item now that's going to appear in our loot box down the road. Let's do a couple of them to get them out of the way. Oh, there's something else that we're missing here. Let's add that in. Okay, there we go. So that should do the trick. So now we can go up to this level. Okay, there we go. So now that's a thing. Next we have we can search for the items that way. What else? I haven't looked it up until this point. The trailer for this game makes me interested. I thought it was some kind of MOBA up until now. No, it's a basically enter the dungeon and beat the snuff out of a bunch of different things. Get loot, get stronger, numbers go burr. Get stronger champions, mutate your champions, that type of stuff. as it expands, the idea is that you can like evolve your champions up into different things. Gotta catch them all kind of stuff. The cool part is eventually they want to allow you to be able to like sell your in-game champions for real money. Well, not real money, but like I think it's like Web3 stuff, right? Like you can sell your champions or stuff like you have in-game, which I found pretty interesting. So it's like it allows you to kind of make money by playing the game, which is pretty cool. It's a nifty little concept. Yeah, pretty much. That's what it is. Ultimately, it's not going to be implemented at launch because that's being put like as right after we get this through the gate, we focus on that. But immediately, it's not the launch topic. The launch topic is this stuff that I'm working on right now. But I think it's pretty cool. It sounds nice when they described it to me. It actually sounds like one of those manhwas I used to read about, like, person gets stuck in some type of virtual RPG and they're having to, like, use real-world currency with stuff that they've earned in-game. I mean, it's pretty interesting stuff. I don't know how that works out exactly, but all I need to do is make it work, or make it functional. But that would be pretty cool, though. Like, you spend a few hours grinding out whatever it is that you need to get, then you can sell that and use that to go buy groceries or something. Kind of reminds me of back in the day with Diablo 2. That's the first thing that I thought of with that. Like, people would actually grind. They would make a sorceress, go and grind, like, to get, like, what's his name? Stuff like the Immortal King chestplate, which is like a set item. And it sold for like $800, which is, in today's currency, for Diablo 2 back then, in today's currency, it would be like close to $3,000.
Invincible.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, people are spending $800. That's crazy money. When I first heard that, like, that was the going price for Immortal King chestplate, I was like, what the heck? And I actually managed to find, I think, 2 of them when I used to play that. But, yeah, anyway. Let's see. Okay, so we have this. Do this real quick. I'm trying to think like what approach I want to take with this. My initial idea is that each one of these can be assigned weights, and then you could assign them for here. And this would create an abstraction on the weight. So the weight that would be assigned from this wouldn't necessarily be the weight that this would apply. The problem is that space-time doesn't take well to dictionaries. So we can't pass through a dictionary over here. So instead, what I wanted to do is I would have a total weight. And if the weight, there has to be a better way to handle this. Like, we could probably just take a look at the weights and then just average them out and normalize them relative to the average. That's where I'm thinking of going with this. If we are going to go with weighted, right? That way, regardless of what weights we're putting here, it'll always just average out the drop chances. So it'll be some magic number that this produces based on the average, multiplied into the weight of the object. So what this wants to do is it wants to come up with that magic number. Maybe we can just get rid of weight here. No, I think it's fine. Because if we get rid of weight here, then we don't need this to be a scriptable object anymore. There's no real benefit to it.
You say I make you nervous, a tragedy, I'm a beautiful disaster, a reckoning, you wonder how I
So
got this way.
this is recall when I was talking with you about
You think I'm someone to
making a way of communicating between clients, or sorry, between scenes, right? We're calling it a service, the ability to locate different services, as well as have content within those services. This is actually a way of doing that, this kind of thing, right? Or technically it would be this thing, right? And really what's happening is we just have the ability to reference all of this data anywhere in the project at any point in time without having to load anything. We don't need to instantiate it. We can just go to a service locator and handle it. Then what we do is we have what's called a CRUD pattern. If the thing doesn't exist anymore, it'll just say, hey, that thing is gone. Like if it's a game object, it doesn't exist anymore. But that doesn't mean you can't change its data, because its actual data lives on the, let's say, like some subservice within the service finder, right? So let's say, for example, like its HP, its health, where it would be on the map, all kinds of stuff. That's all represented as data rather than through the game object. So that's the distinction. When you abandon the game object as just being something that is visually representing itself, that means that you can take away the data that you would normally put on the game object, leaving behind only functionality. So how fast does it move? Or not how fast it moves, but how it moves with how fast it moves, that can live on the game object. But how fast it moves would live in data, right? And because it lives in data, it's super lightweight, and you can just have a static file somewhere that that can be always accessible. You can just say, hey, I want to change the name of this character. And even if that character isn't actually loaded in the scene, their name is now changed. And when they are loaded into the scene, they'll ping the data using these types of things, like this addresser right here, to get its own information. And say, hey, this is actually who I am. I am this person, and I move this fast. So that's how it works. And this is a lazy pattern because now game objects only care once they actually exist what they are. It's a little bit, well, it's not a little bit, it's quite a bit of boilerplate. But once it's done, when I did it in Godot, I think earlier this year, I think I had done it really earlier this year, yeah. And I made the game, what was it called? It was game data or whatever that file was called. I tell you, it felt like a weight came off of my shoulders just getting that done. It's something that helps, especially with larger projects, big time. Okay. A lot of people, when they jump into game dev, they think it's... Well, I mean, it's not... how do I put it? It's not that they think, it's that they're told. A lot of us are told, actually, that HP either lives on, like, a scriptable object, which it doesn't, or HP lives on the game object itself, which it shouldn't. It can, but you don't want to really store those things in scenes, right? That's what static members are for. You can have access to these things in a static class. They can have their own classes that exist on a collection or as a target within a static class, which saves so much heartache when you're trying to reach data. And now you don't even have to think about what scene something is in anymore. Right? Like, it's kind of like Yes, let's think about it like a theater. There are different scenes, but the reality is the theater, the whole stage, is still happening on planet Earth in whatever city you're in. Those areas don't disappear just because the scene changed. You should be able to still get access to those resources and that referential information, no matter what you're doing with your scene. But if you're following that pattern of put your movement speed on the inside of your movement script, and then that movement script lives on a game object, then that's gone unless you reinstantiate that object, right? Like once you move to the next scene, and then you're told all types of stuff like, oh well, just follow the singleton pattern, and you don't really need a singleton pattern for that. Right? And that's what a service locator handles for you. But I'm gonna, after I finish doing all of this stuff, I'm going to, I think I'm going to hit that. I'm going to make one from scratch.
Open eye, feel the waves cut through me, hypnotized by the sounds I'm breathing in. Hold tight, chemicals collide. Hold tight, hold tight, hold tight. Dripping lights paint the skies, all because of you. Dripping lights paint the skies, only you can make me move. You can make me move. Can make me move. You can make me move. Can make me. So alive, make it last forever. Stop in time, yeah, I'm surrendering. Hold tight, chemicals collide.
We need to make that, so we need to do a couple of things. We'll do that later. All right. Okay, focus up. We're almost done. I'm just going to take care of this today, and I'm not going to work on the server side, but I just need to get this out of the way. I feel like as if we can get this done, it'd be good today.
Seeing monsters out your window. No, you can't sleep. You pretend though you don't have to play the hero.
All right. Let's do this part now. What did we name it again? Validate internal. So I don't believe I explained this before. I'll explain it now, why I did it that way. Rather than just throwing this into onValidate. I'll explain it when I write the onValidate. Okay, so yeah, that's fine. See, that's what I like. Like, once you make this stuff, you can just inject it anywhere, and now it works, instead of having to remake it every single time for every single different class. Right? Like, we know that we're going to be using this a lot. You get what I mean? Alright. Oh, we need to give ourselves access to the weight. You know what? We can get a little fancy with this. Right? We can pre-cook, or rather bake, the total weight. Let's do that. Yeah, that's fine.
Until one day, a young man catches fire. This is Phoenix.
You've been knocked down and got up again. In a corner, you're surrounded, no defenders. You've hid your fury and kept it in. But it's time now, you
Yeah.
turn to embers. Like a phoenix, you burst in a fire, burn. A thirst and desire, you transform right up in a flash. You spread your wings to rise from the ashes. Phoenix, you burst in a fire.
All right. All we're doing here is just making sure that this number is always at the minimum 0.0001. That's it. And actually, we should probably do this. You know what? Let's make our lives easier. We should do this inside of this. There we go. Right, but this is just enforcing that. That's all. It's entirely possible that... should we change it? No. Yeah, it's entirely possible that this could be something else, so... Fine. Okay, so this is the tough part. Normalization. Generally, we just need to make sure that we're plugging in the total. Oh, this is greater than 0. And yeah. Yes, Unity kind of already knew what I wanted to do. Oh, you know what we forgot to do? We have to do it here. Did we? Yeah, okay. There it is. Okay. Nah, I don't think we need it here. Yeah, we do. Do it. There we go. So this is why we don't really mess with it, even though this is technically supposed to be fine. Oh, right. I was going to explain this. So the reason why we throw in the delay call from the editor application is to prevent callbacks from other validate targets, so they don't all just explode my console with nonsense. Right? Because whenever we do certain things like asset lookups inside of a validate, it will do that. Okay, let's go back here. So now we need to... Okay. All right, I think we're actually done. This was the tricky part for me, but I think this is fine. right? So now we just need to mark these off. Um,
And I've been counting minutes for quite some time now, just to see you again. And I've been counting days to get away, to see you again, see you again. Been fighting ways to get away.
do we need to know the loot type or no? I think we do. All right, let's save. Let's go back to Unity.
We got millions of reasons.
On Unity, do not give me any exceptions. Just say you work perfectly. Looks like it works. Okay. Very nice. Okay, so we can set the weight here of this object. Let's be simple. We're going to set it to 0.5. This should, if we make this the only object on the thing that we're about to make, it should then, oh, so yeah, Nick, there is a key component, I'll show it to you in a second, for how to get started with that system. You can kind of look at it as like a preview of what I'm going to go explain, or rather develop through, I hope within the next 2 weeks. But give me 1 sec, because I just realized I could just show it how it works. Pretty neat. But it's kind of like the linchpin. If you get this right, you're pretty much golden going forward. There's multiple ways to do it. I'm going to show you one of the ways. Let's see. So yeah, we're going to set this to 0.5, and then we're going to make a new object. And this one will be the tables. Did I list it? Oh yeah, it's right here. Okay, so this is pointless right now. We don't have anything here to target. But the idea is we can make like a specific item that when you buy it from the store, once you push it to the server, it will then check if you actually purchased that item. If you did, then it will try to consume. When it tries to consume, that's where it's going to read this the blueprint version of this data that's on the server and run specific logic that's we're going to bake at this level. Right? So that's what this is for. But right now, this is all we care about. And we just need to lock this and just drop this in. And what we care is to make sure that these values are... Oh, let's make sure that I put these in up on validate. Yeah, it wouldn't have worked. Give me a second. Alright, now let's try it. So we're looking for two numbers here. This number should be 0.5. This number should be 2. So let's see what happens. And we have it, 0.5 and 2. Very nice. So now if I keep doing this, very nice. Okay, so the idea is, regardless of however many loot we put on this table, we're going to just roll a random number on the server, multiply that result. Multiply that by the normalization factor of the rewards. So every time it'll just go through all of the rewards and find out if that rewards normalization, after being normalized, is below the target, and then grab that and say, hey, yeah, congratulations, you won this. So we're done. The only other side of this is to build out the server module, but I'll take care of that later. So let's very quickly go over the part that I was talking about, because we still have a little bit of work to do here. Okay, there we go. So what we can do is do it like this.
Thank God that the brothers on the rise now. Endless celebrations all in my house. Levitating now, I'm super duper fly now. London boy, but DC where I reside now. Put the time in while you always yelling time out. And for quit it, cause I know I'm coming with it. You were sitting, you were wishing I was handling my business. Now I got the ball like Harry Potter playing Quidditch. And my business is humongous, you would think that happens in it. Damn man, I'm all that, yeah, I'm all that. Looking for that whip, yeah, that what you call that. I'ma blow up in the summer, have him yelling fall back. And I've always been ahead like an effing ball cap. Man, I came in the game like, whoa. Got a couple chains on me cause I like gold. They told me I'm the best and I told them I know. Cause when I'm in your town, every ticket I sold.
There we go. So this is what I was talking about now, right? This is used in other places, but the idea behind it, let's get rid of that. The idea behind it is that we take something that will make this a unique object. In other words, if we change any of these values, then we need to change this. We need to update the reference for this. But as long as these values don't change, in other words, this is now a blueprint. It is a static object. It is never intended to be changed after it's finalized, right? So we can take this information and then convert this to a ulong, or sorry, is it? No, an integer rather. So on the server side, we turn them into ulongs, but over here they are integers. And that integer is going to be unique to this object, right? Like if we needed to reverse the number, like we could take the number, put it in, and that number will give us back this. Is what's going to happen. If that makes sense, right? So how do we get that? Like how would we get, like forward-wise, we would get some random number from this, but then if we flip it backwards, we'll get this exact string back. It'll say loot reward, whatever the weight is, the quantity, and then the target name with these little lines in between. And that's a trick of handling. Once you get that part done, the determinative part done, that is basically how it works. That's the whole spine of the system. the determinative nature of these unique numbers. Arguably, the bigger the number that you use, the safer it is, but the only real way that you're going to get, and this is what's called a hash code, the only way that you're going to get a conflicting hash code here might be if you're using the two things with the exact same quantity and target and weight. But the good thing about doing that is that if you designed your system properly, if you have two things that have the exact same parameters, then it will just omit one of them. And you have to think about that for a second. I want everything, right? This is the initial idea. Well, maybe you don't, actually. If you have two objects that are identical, then why do you need the second object? They're both identical. They're both doing the exact same thing, right? So if you design your system with that in mind, then you can probably just make like a debug to let it know, hey, I'm actually not counting this object because it's completely identical to this other object. Okay. Okay. Well, this is less server. This is more for, again, game dev, not so much server. But I'll show you now the part that's handling the dirty work. Should be over here somewhere. Yep, here it is. So it's a very simple little piece of code called stable hash. Right? And yeah, this is basically it. If we wanted to, we could just do hash to text or hash to string, and then put in the exact same hash, put this exact combination in, and then convert it back to a string. Which I do somewhere else, but it is what it is. Yeah, this is basically it. So this will always give us a unique hash based on whatever string we put in. Want to see it again? You want me to walk through it? But we're just applying. This is built. I didn't make these parts. These are built into Unity. Well, actually, built into C#. But yeah. And then we have the bit converter here, which is doing the heavy lifting. All right, and that's it. Okay. All right. That's it. So you might be asking, well, why not do it this way? Like, just have this do the hashing itself? Because I don't want it to. It's safer if people have to dig through things to find where hashing is happening. And it doesn't take much, but it is a little bit tricky to get there. Alright, not that it would change much, because even after they do that, then you have the ambiguation that comes from the server side that converts the integers over to a ulong. So these numbers will only make sense after the server applies its own cryptography, dehashes it back to these numbers. That's how it works. Okay, I think that's it. So now we just need to make a couple of these. But you see, like, even this system right here is only really well, I mean, the reason why it's possible is because we have the other system I just described with the hashing. Like, all this is doing, like, the ability to just do this, that, get from anywhere in my project and just get all of the items in my project is entirely because we're using a service locator to locate the service that I can call get all on this ROM. Right? Because, like, under the hood, this is just doing a get call. Like, I can show it to you right now. And then we're just putting in the numbers that it wants to get. Pretty cool, huh? Okay, I think we're done. Okay, so let's duplicate this a couple. What's going on? Ah, okay. Let's make a new folder for these. We're just gonna make a couple of them. We're not doing all of them. How much money do you have, Nick? Hey, Stoner, how you doing, man? Since Stoner is here also, I guess I'll just do this. Give me a sec. There you go. That was a heat-seeking bomb, Nick. It, like, literally went right towards you. There we go. I had my fun. I'm doing all right, Stoner. Doing okay. There you go.
Feeling like it never ends, back again, square one. Try to leave myself behind.
Make this one.
Better place, not to stay alone. Gain our trust and you chose to break it. Ask for truth, but you only fake it. Thought you said what we had was sacred. It's a lie.
I think the other thing they had said that they wanted to be able to drop from them is equipment shards. And what else? You have equipment fusion. No, wait. I forget what's in the fusion. Like, how do you do this? We have a couple of things in this game, right? We have the rubies, which are used for like leveling up and stuff like that, and then we have the equipment shards used to craft equipment. And then you have the oh gosh, I can't remember. There's 4 of them. And then you have the ones that you use for like gaining talents. So those are the talent shards. You know what? I don't need to remember. I can just look it up. Give me a second. Should be under currency. Manager. There it is. We have gems, shards, equipment. That didn't help. Champion. There it is. Champion shards. Okay, got it. Okay, got it. Okay. So, what the heck? Oh, there we go. Starting to lose my mind. Yeah, Stoner, you missed most of it, man. I'm almost done actually. I'm about to wrap things up. I'm just doing a little bit of prep work for, because after this I have to convert this. Oh well, sorry, I need to I say convert, but really it's just I gotta go here and just click these 2 buttons because I made the system so it requires the least amount of work from me as possible. Um, let's see. So we can just make. I don't like the names of this. It's like so. Let me see. Yeah, the name is just too long. One sec. Delete. There we go. Still. If I remember correctly, champion shards are kind of rare. Damn, go figure. I've been trying to catch you live. I've actually been streaming a bit myself. I got an affiliate on Twitch beginning last month. Congratulations, dude. Congratulations. That is awesome. What do you stream? Like, is that like, do you do gaming or are you also doing game dev? Like, what? That is crazy good. Congrats, man. That is great. One, two, four. That is great stuff. But what do you stream? Is it like is it just game dev or is it you play games? Is it music? Do you do music? Do you do makeup? Oh yeah, people love marbles. That is true. That is very true. It's very weird, but I think it's cathartic for some people. Yeah, there was a guy. I used to watch his videos. But he started off with marbles also. What was his name? Um, Dapper. So he does YouTube now, but I don't know if he still does Twitch. But I know that he does YouTube, and I know that he used to mostly be about marbles and stuff. But he plays with like his friends and whatnot. Dapper. I haven't watched his videos in a while. I don't think we want to have anything here until they tell me like what exact items they care to have here. Nothing's going to be here. I'm going to just delete this. Because actually part of that is because of because of the Web3 planning. It's really weird, right? We can't actually make items available through directly tied to the store, because the in-game store, because that would make it so we are kind of competing with our own store, right? And it's supposed to be that the players kind of set the real prices on items. So I'm going to leave it to these guys to tell me, hey, these are the items that we want, and stuff like that. Like, we have a guy for that. We're going to let him take care of that. That's also part of the reason why I'm not really gung-ho about pushing this to the server quite yet, because these numbers could change at any point. I'm just, like, putting them in because it's nice to have them there ahead of time. That makes sense. Right? And finally, the rubies, which I believe are like the most prevalent one. So let's start it off at 1, I guess. Okay, there we go. Alrighty then. And 3, 6, and 12, 24. Fantastic. Well, it's good to have you around, Stoner. So, that is fantastic news to hear, man. I'm really happy to hear that for you, brother. That's excellent stuff. Keep it up. I think that's it. So we're just going to test out one more thing. I just want to make sure that this is working properly. Let's get rid of these. We can just clear, right? Nope, we can't. Okay, so we're just going to grab a couple of these. Let's say that we get the first 3 of these. So that means that the normalized weight is this. Then if we grab, let's say like these 2. And then we can just grab all of these. There we go. So that's the idea. So now on the server side, we can just multiply. We're going to have this normalization factor on the server side. And we just multiply each one of the these. Each one of them has their own weight. This number that we just messed around with. And we will be able to find out if we've gotten that item. That's how we do it. I'm going to call that a day there. That is pretty good. So I'm going to let them know that this is done. And that somebody just needs to give me like an Excel sheet with like what these numbers should be before, and like what actual stuff should be here before I start bringing stuff to the server. But outside of this, the only other thing that I was working on is an admin menu, because now that things are wrapping up with the server side, I have to make a admin way of handling information or getting access to information on the server for like things like moderation. When we want to do updates, we want to be able to preserve, like take a snapshot or image the server. All of that good stuff. So we need a safe way to do that. Then we have like the whole Fort Knox kind of key to get in. All kinds of, like, somebody else has to be there to validate your login type of stuff. Yeah, maybe you can convince Roman to get back into streaming, man. I need my fix. So Stoner, so you're only on Twitch, or do you also stream on YouTube? Since we're here, might as well we do some house cleaning, because there are some other things that need doing here. But let's do that. We're going to expand this with our new logic. I never really use Twitch, but I can check you out and see what's going on with you. It'd be pretty cool. Like, I think I also stream on Twitch. It's just that it's an automatic thing from... I have OBS set up to target Twitch and YouTube. But normally I don't really go to Twitch, mainly because it's just a little bit more of a hassle. But I think some people are just used to Twitch. Yeah, let's see. It is super popular. I'm like, that's crazy. So what are we doing here? We need to look for enemies. But you see, like this, Nick, like this is again only possible because we employed that whole system. So that boilerplate becomes worth it because now, in order to just get every single enemy in the game, I just need to do this. Right? And now, technically, I can instantiate any enemy at any point in time just using this. Yeah, Marbles is super duper because I think it's because it has so much integration with Twitch, like the whole multiplayer thing and whatnot. It's just super popular. And it's just so funny because it's such a simple game, right? There's nothing really complicated going on. But it's just so fine-tuned and optimized for its platform that... And this is actually going back to like the whole Nintendo argument, right? Which is that... Well, I don't know about modern Nintendo, but at least Nintendo for like the Wii, the N64, at that point, Nintendo had a lot of success, or rather, what success they did have proved through once you could see the moment that they tried to be like, for example, Sony, or compete in that same space as like Sega, they ended up like almost like Sega. But then once they reattuned to exactly, hey, we need to design for the platform that we're on, which in this case, Marbles is sticking to basically like streaming platforms. That's effectively what it targets. And, you know, like how that plays out. It succeeds because when Nintendo made games that targeted the Wii, those games succeeded. Those are some of the, like, Smash Brothers and so on, Mario Kart and etc. Those just endured because they match whatever they were designed intentionally for the platform. That's just something that really probably what makes certain PC games flourish also, when they're just more closely attuned to the platform that they're being targeted at. And that's not easy at all to do that. So that's a legitimate talent, the ability to observe and the ability to deploy in that way. That's not easy. Okay, I feel like this works. Right, because everything else is the same terms. What is this? I forget what this is about. Update matches. Okay, gotcha. I don't know, man. I'm just hoping that you don't hit the top. You just keep on going. Like they just that's so awesome. You know, that is awesome. The I think that's it. What else do we have? I think we have one more, which is, I think, the map. Yeah, map. Okay, that's the last one. This one should be, yep, is... let's just grab this. Campaign name. There it is. Stored address is equal to 0, and we're done. I think we're pretty much... What else do I need to do? I think this solidifies that. We have one more thing. So I made the mistake of pressing the wrong button on Git and accidentally undid some stuff. So let's redo those stuffs. Better button. Okay. So did I already change this again or no? This is it. I think that's what I needed to change. So this is me extending Unity's base button class. You can see it right here. Basically I didn't like that you didn't have the ability to just hold the button down by native, so I just extended the button class to allow for holding. As well as a whole bunch of other little doohickeys if I wanted to listen to them. But I think that's it. Hopefully I didn't break anything too badly. But I think we're done. This is going to be it. Stoner, thank you for joining. Nick, thank you for joining. Netball was here earlier, so if he hears this, thank you later. We're good. Stoner, if you want, you can send me like a link to the well, you can't really do it here. In Discord, if you're on Romans or mine or whatever, but just let me know. I can definitely check it out. All right, man. Guys, stay safe, stay up, stay blessed. Here we go. Have some stars. see. Yeah, that's it.